So what is love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Well, there's love, the noun, and there's love, the verb. A lot of people are looking for love, and a lot of people want somebody to love. No, it's Monday morning, 6 a.m., starting week 3 of bringing you along with me on my entire week. Show you how I win the week, but I've been thinking about the topic of love a lot lately. Who do you love? I think that love is a self-sacrificial quality that we have. It is a feeling or belief that you will put someone else above yourself. And there's romantic love, but there's also brotherly love and love for your family. All of these can be self-sacrificial, where you would put your own welfare, your own life above that of somebody else. You know, the love a husband feels for the wife and vice versa, where they would be willing to put the other person's happiness and desire above their own. That's love. The love you have for your kids, you know, you'd sacrifice your own life for your kids. There's that kind of love. All of these are love as a noun, right? That's the first indicator that love is real, is if it's a self-sacrificial, putting someone else above yourself, not just willing to die, but, you know, the needs of somebody else, the happiness of somebody else. And I know a lot of people have been in some really abusive relationships, and they've come out of situations where they say, I'm never putting somebody else's needs above my own again. I'm always going to put myself first from now on. Well, I understand. You've been in a lot of painful situations. You've been in a painful relationship. I get it. Don't ever want that again. But if you're to find love, it means you're going to find somebody who feels the same way about you. And you know, putting someone else's happiness above your own, when their definition of happiness is making you happy, that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad deal to want to make someone happy when their definition of being happy is to make you happy. But when you find somebody whose concern is for your happiness, and they love you self-sacrificially, it's a lot easier to love them self-sacrificially. You want them to be happy, and their happiness means they want you to be happy. Both of you end up striving to make the other one happy. How is that a bad thing? Boy, heavy thoughts at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Monday. I think I'm going to have to think about this one a little bit more before I can really talk about it a lot more. Hello, Cardinal. I put out some seeds for you there, buddy. Enjoy. I hear you, but I don't see you. Go chow down, Mr. Cardinal. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about this topic a little bit before I can give you more on it. But we got all week ahead of us, so we'll work through this one. There you are. Hello. Oh, Mrs. Cardinal, pardon me. All right. That's good for the garden. I'll talk to you in a little bit when I reach out and press record on this camera again. Welcome back. It is after lunch on Monday. I was thinking about what I said this morning about love, the noun. But love is also a verb. It's related to the noun I was talking about. When you love someone, you prefer them more than yourself. You seek their happiness over your own. You desire for them to do well. Think about the way somebody loves their children. If you think about the golden rule, which is to treat other people the way you want to be treated, in a way, that's an act of love, because you're showing someone else the courtesy, the kindness, the respect, and the manners that you want to have shown to you, but you're willing to sacrifice your own happiness. You're not just doing only what makes you feel better. Sometimes you do something for someone else, even at your own expense, and that's an act of love. Dude, people pull out in front of you in traffic. It makes it hard to love them, doesn't it? Just heading over to Just heading over to a lawyer's office. I got to sign some paperwork and take care of some business. But I definitely wanted to touch base with you and spend some time with you, my beloved friends. Also, the educated among you will see my hat, and you may be operating under the misunderstanding that this is the Bonnie Blue flag. Some of you may recognize that and say, oh, Scott's wearing the Bonnie Blue flag. That's the flag of the Confederacy. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Au contraire. The Confederacy, most people think the Confederate flag is the stars and bars, right? Which is actually was their battle flag. It was like a battle flag. But the Bonnie Blue flag was their national flag during the Confederacy, during the time of the Civil War. But what a lot of people don't know is that the Confederacy stole that flag, complete ripoff, stole it from the Republic of West Florida. You never heard of the Republic of West Florida? Well, let me tell you, I'm Florida man. I'm happy to educate you on the Republic of West Florida. In brief, a glorious but short-lived independent nation with a lifespan of approximately 10 weeks. 50 years before the Civil War, Spain and France were kind of at a loss over what to do with the westernmost reach of beyond where Florida is now into Louisiana. And the French kind of wanted it and the Spanish kind of wanted it, but they were all kind of putting up with the British, and they were all sort of giving up land to the British because they had all got their butts kicked, and everybody was a little afraid of pissing off the other side. What happened is there's this tiny little strip of land in like I said, on the Gulf, west of current day Florida. It's most of Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana along the Gulf. Well, a small contingent of people who lived there at the time saw their opportunity, and they said, hey, France and Spain are arguing and fighting about what to do here, and Britain's in the middle, and before anybody else grabs it, why don't we become our own independent nation, the Republic of West Florida? Because prior to that, the Florida was known as East Florida and West Florida when it was colonies of Spain and France. It was East Florida, and West Florida went all the way over like by Baton Rouge. So this small little group of people living in the region decided to declare independence, and they went to a fort. I think it was a Spanish fort. Maybe it was French. Anyway, they shot up a bunch of people, killed a bunch of soldiers, and said, we are hereby the Republic of West Florida. Said, we're a country now. It was communications and letters. News didn't travel that fast back then. And what had happened is Spain and Louisiana had pretty much already signed the paperwork and sent that land over to the United States. And when the United States found out that this band of scalawags had set up their own country and called themselves the Republic of West Florida, I think it was President Madison at the time. I can't remember. I forget who was the president. He said, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. And he sent his American soldiers down there and said, take that flag down and put up the American flag. You guys are United States, like it or not. And it wasn't really, they really didn't put up a fight against the soldiers. So that was the end of the 10-week experiment and glorious independent nation of the Republic of West Florida. But those of us who are Florida man still remember. So, yeah, I got my Republic of West Florida hat on. So, to love is to prefer others over yourself. It's an act of denial, an act of self-denial, and it's also an act of, in case you're wondering, I'm over here, I'm stopping by the car wash first. This car has not gotten a wash in about a week, and it is overdue. It's going to get dark in here as I go through this, but that's okay. So in an act of dying to yourself, maybe I should wait till I get through this before I try and talk. It's going to get loud in here. All right, that was fun. So, what was I saying? Yes, loving other people is an act of selfless self-denial and preferring others over yourself. It's not easy. But if you can keep your head when those around you are losing theirs, I don't know, is that really related? Is that really? I'm not sure. You know, if you're a religious person, you might struggle with the order to love one another. Not the easiest thing to do, especially when people can be such jerks. And maybe the hardest commandment, instruction, statement is to love your enemies. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Yeah, that's super easy. Barely an inconvenience. That means prefer people you don't like, who hate you, over yourself. But that's what it says. That's what it means. That's what you're told to do. That ain't fun. All right, I have arrived at my destination. I will talk to you when I get back out. Welcome back. We are here. What was I talking about? I think I was talking about if you're a religious person and the order to love one another and love your enemies. That's not easy, but it is an instruction. It is an order. But not everybody's a religious person. Sometimes you're trying to make it through life on your own without that benefit, without that sidecar on your life. So, you know, if that's for you and that's something you think you can swing, more power to you. Good luck. I think the schools are out right now because I'm driving past a Goodwill here and there's just tons of teenagers running around on the sidewalk and being all kinds of crazy here. And you don't have a stop sign, sir. You're supposed to just keep going. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. People with no stop sign who stop. One of my pet peeves. All right, well, I'm kind of running out of things to talk about on this topic here for the moment. So I think I'm just gonna wrap up this little section of the video. I'm sure I'll talk to you again today at some point. If not, maybe sometime tomorrow. We are getting through this week and we're gonna win this week. We're gonna finish strong at the end of it, but right now it's still early in the week. It's only Monday. So I will chat at you in a little bit next time I hit record on this camera. All right, well, welcome back. It is Monday evening, Monday night, Monday after, no, what do you call it? Monday, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Monday. I am headed to a little get-together, little meeting, local restaurant. You don't need to know what kind of meeting. It's none of your business. It's a meeting of like-minded people, an affinity group. Let's leave it at that. It's an affinity group, like-minded people. We're thinking again on this topic of love we've been talking about today. And, you know, I think one of the things a lot of people have a hang-up about or a problem with is they've had their heart broken at some point in their life. And that ain't nice. That ain't easy. And as a result, you know, of giving their heart to somebody, handing over that self-sacrificial, put other people ahead of themselves love, and then to have their heart stomped on or whatever, I get the pain. I understand. You know, I get it. That can leave you feeling burned, saying once bitten, twice shy. But, you know, that's a shame if that's how you feel, because just because one person might have mistreated you or not valued you doesn't mean that everybody does. It doesn't mean the world does. If you think about it, the number of people who've broken your heart in your life is a very small representation of the overall population of the people in the world. My encouragement to you guys, the brokenhearted, is, you know, get back out there and try again. There is somebody out there for everybody. There's a lot of somebodies. You know, this idea of the soulmate, that there's one person out there, that doesn't really work, because statistically you'd never find them. If there was only one person on the earth out of 7 billion people, you'd never find them. There's millions and millions of people out there who would be a great match for you. And for those of you who are in relationships that are struggling and you're wondering if it's not going to last, and maybe you're kind of feeling like love ain't all it's cracked up to be, you know, keep trying. That's what I got to say to you. Keep trying. Keep putting in the work. Keep communicating. Keep talking with the other person. So many times we don't want to get hurt, so we are unwilling to open up and be vulnerable and be honest and say what we're really feeling, because, hey, when you're honest and you're vulnerable like that, you're an easy target. And you don't want to be the sucker. So instead you get defensive and close up, and trying to protect yourself from getting hurt, you end up not being able to communicate with the other person at all, and just makes everything worse. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying some of this. Maybe you're getting some something out of all of this. You know, I'm not a genius. I don't have all the answers. I'm not right about everything. If I say something this week on a topic and you disagree, I want to hear your perspective. I want to listen. I want to be open-minded and listen to your ideas of where I'm right about something, where I'm wrong about something. Let me know. Let me know where I missed the mark. I want to be open-minded enough to hear your perspective. I won't argue with you. I won't argue. Unless you say I'm just a big fat poopy head. Because I'm not fat. I am pulling into my destination here. So I will go ahead and sign off. And this will probably be the last time I talk to you today. Unless I think of something at my little get-together here. If I do, maybe I'll talk to you on the way home. If not, I'll talk to you tomorrow sometime. Either way, I will talk to you the next time I reach out and hit record on this camera. All right. See you later. Well, welcome back to a wonderful Tuesday afternoon, and I have what I think is a really interesting observation for you on the topic of love. When I was out feeding my birds, the birds in the neighborhood, apparently I'm the bird dad now, and I have to feed all the birds in the neighborhood in the morning, but I was tending to my garden, watering my flowers, and feeding my birdies. I was enjoying watching the cardinals enjoying the bird feeder. And the male would fly up into the tray full of birdseed, and then he would fly a foot or two to the left or a foot or two to the right to where the other two female cardinals were perched on little trellis nearby or on a branch. And he would drop a little bit of birdseed into one of their mouths. And then he'd go back to the middle and he'd pick up more birdseed. And then he'd fly over to another one of the two cardinal females. And he's going back and forth. You know, tray of birdseed, female, tray of birdseed, female, tray of birdseed. He's just working his butt off, feeding these two females. You know, he just like perched himself slightly above them and dropped food down into their little beak. It was really cute to watch. And a mockingbird flew in to the scene and landed on the branch that's over my neighbor's fence. The tree kind of extends up and over a little bit on my fence, which I don't mind his branches coming over, because it's this tree that I wish I could get one of these trees myself. It's got these beautiful red flowers that attract butterflies like nobody's business. I've never seen a tree attract so many butterflies. It's not milkweed, it's not mahogany, it's not all these things they tell you to get for butterflies, but boy, these butterflies love the heck out of this red. Anyway, a mockingbird flew into this tree and was watching this scene as the male would get some food, feed one, get some food, feed the other, back and forth. And he was getting a little close. The mockingbird was starting to get a little close to the situation. And so the red cardinal then flew up into that tree right at him and chased him, and he chased him away. He like chased him onto another branch and chased him further into another branch and chased him further into another branch until that mockingbird literally just flew away from the scene. And then the cardinal swooped back down to the tray and grabbed another bite. So you want to talk about the concept of self-sacrificial love. Here's a male cardinal demonstrating what to me looks like the perfect illustration of love. He's caring for these two females. He's protecting them. He's chasing away the competitor for the food before he could get too close. And you know, I mean, this redbird, he can't eat while he's doing this. He's foregoing his own meal while he's making sure that these other two birds get their food. And you know, he can't eat at this time while he's doing all this. He's foregoing his own meal while he's feeding these other two birds, making sure that they get fed first. So he's being self-sacrificial, because for all he knows, you know, some other big crow or something's going to come and chase everybody away, and then he gets nothing. So he's feeding them first. It was really, really cute to watch and really neat. So I just want to ask you two things. Have you been observant enough to see some kind of illustration in your own life that's similar to this, and you've seen an example or illustration of love in your own life that you can tell me about in the comments? And the other thing I want to ask you is, have you been observant enough to notice that my shirt changed colors several times while I've been talking here to you? All right, I'll catch up with you probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so I'll be headed to breakfast in the morning. Maybe I'll have a chat with you on the drive over there. Whenever it is, next time I reach up and hit record on this camera, I'll talk to you then. Well, good morning and happy Wednesday morning to you. Wednesday morning, as I said, headed over to have breakfast with my buds. I've been having breakfast with these same guys for coming up on 30 years every Wednesday morning. They're not tired of me yet. But I have what I want to say is probably a complicated conversation this morning on this topic of love that we've been kind of chewing on all week. This is a complicated angle on it. And it centers around this idea that we should love one another. You know, this idea that we should love one another, be nice to each other, be kind to our friends, our neighbors. It is difficult. It's hard. And the reason it's hard is because people are jerks. Not everybody, but a lot of people are hard to love. They're jerks. It's hard to love somebody that's not loving you back. Someone who's being an idiot or a jerk. Selfish. But I will tell you, I'm going to share with you a revelation I had that made it a lot easier for me to work through this and try to practice it. And it's the idea that when you show somebody, even a jerk, some love, you know, some compassion, some care, when you try to put their needs above your own, what you're doing is you are encouraging that person. Now that sounds very obvious. I know that sounds super obvious and almost not worth saying. Oh, if you love someone, you encourage them. Wait, but let me get there, okay? I know I'm taking forever to make this point. When you encourage someone, you increase their ability to resist evil. People who are discouraged are more likely to succumb to evil thoughts, evil deeds, evil ideas, evil friend associations, evil plots. Someone who's discouraged is much more likely to be evil. So if we put those two ideas together, they're pretty basic, but if you put them together, you come up with an equation that was kind of groundbreaking to me when I first realized it, is when you show love to somebody, you encourage them and you increase their ability, you enhance their ability to resist evil. And that's a big deal, because you are combating evil when you love someone. You are fighting evil when you show someone, even a jerk, some love. And I think that makes it worth it. So when I'm feeling hesitant, reluctant, and just don't plain wanna show love to my neighbor, I try to remind myself, hey, this helps defeat evil in the world. This helps combat, overcome, and resist evil. And in a sense, by loving somebody who doesn't necessarily deserve it and ain't gonna love me back, I'm still defeating evil, you guys. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty big. All right. I'm going to chew on that one a little bit more. Haha, get it? During breakfast. Chew on that one. I'll crack myself up. So, think about that a little bit, and next time you get a chance to lash out at some jerk, consider loving them instead. See how it goes. There goes the fisherman, the Popo, the Coral Springs Police Department out fishing for speeders on Coral Springs Drive. Fisherman trying to get his first catch of the day. All right, I'm heading inside, and I will see you guys next time I press record. That was a delicious breakfast. All was good. I had 2 eggs over easy on 2 slices of rye toast. Very good. Very yummy. I did not think of anything else to talk about this subject of love, really. However, I do want to take just a minute to remind you it's Wednesday, which means for me, it is my live stream night, and I just wanted to invite you to come to my live stream on every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here at this fantastic YouTube channel, the best YouTube channel in the universe. I just want to invite you to show up at the live stream, join me in the chat. Oh, look, the cops are still here. In fact, there's 2 of them now. How about that? The fishermen are out. So join me 8 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday night for my live stream. Show up in the chat. Let me know you're there. Make some new friends. We have such a great group of people that come out on these live streams and hang out in the chat. What a great group. I call it the Cool Kids Table. And there's plenty of room for you at the Cool Kids Table. In fact, I'll save you a seat. How about that? I'll save you a seat at the Cool Kids Table. If you'll show up, say hi in the chat. Say, I watched your video. You told me about these live streams. I wanted to come and check it out. It will probably be the most fun you have all week. Definitely the most fun you'll have on your computer all week. So join me 8 p.m. every Wednesday night for the Winning the Week live stream and podcast. The live stream is published as a podcast every week as well. So if you want, you can find the Winning the Week with Scott Alt podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Other than that, that's all I want to say. So I will talk to you next time I press record on the camera, okay? Okay, very important, quick errand I have to run here on a Wednesday night before I go live in just an hour or so. But just very quickly, I had invited you in a previous video to send me a video of yourself showing me how you are winning your week. And darn it if our friend FishingwithAllyG didn't take me up on it. Sure enough, she did, and sent me a clip showing me how she's winning her week. So I'll go ahead and take care of my errand here while we go ahead and listen to Allie G tell us how she's winning her week. And I'll just get my little errand taken care of here.
Winning! That's right, it's Allie G, and I am winning the week. How am I doing that, you ask? Allie G has not always been able to get out to the fishing hole anytime that I wanted to. Because when I was 23, I was left with the prospect of being in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And they gave me 2 options, a wheelchair or do this experimental bone transplant called an allograft. And it was a pretty simple idea that the bone marrow blood type would match and I'd be able to grow the bone to my bone like it never was missing, because I had a big piece missing. But here I am, 100%, and I'm out here fishing on a Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday, winning the afternoon. And Monday and Sunday were just as nice. So hey guys, I had some close calls. I had some woulda, coulda, shouldas, but I did pretty good, so winning.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Allie. I appreciate that very much. And yes, I know you're probably all screaming, don't go to McDonald's, it's not good for you. Well, listen, I'm a all things in moderation kind of guy, and McDonald's is not going to kill you once in a blue moon. And I got my live stream tonight. I'm busy. I'm still trying to prepare a few things, trying to be quick. So sometimes you just got to dip in and dip out and get yourself some quick McDonald's, you know. But thank you very much, Allie. I appreciate that. And if you would like to also participate in this fun and games, my email address is in the channel description. Reach out and shoot me a message and find out how to get a hold of me. And you can make a little video. Just open up your phone, press record, make a video, and tell me how you're winning your week. I'd love to hear from all of you. So do that and send me a message and let me know you've got it, and I'll tell you how to send it to me, okay? Cool. All right, let's get ready for the live stream tonight, and I will see you next time I reach out and hit record on this camera. Is that cool? Boy, that's turning into a regular catchphrase, isn't it? I'll talk to you next time I press record on this camera. Well, good morning. Happy Thursday morning to you. Just a quick trip over to Publix, but guess what? Someone else has taken me up on my offer to share with me how they're winning their week. So this is another one of our producers, PeterUrbanowski over in Liverpool. My good friend who lives over on the Mersey. Peter dropped a video over to me, so let's see how Peter's winning the week. Let's watch this.
Hello, Scott. You want to know how I'm winning the week? This week, I am winning the week by implementing calisthenics, bodyweight exercises, because I want to lose body fat, not body weight. So I am focusing on my health, I am focusing on my diet, and I am focusing on what exercises I am doing. That's how I'm winning my week.
Hey, hi there guys, Warren here from the Optimistic Absurdist channel. I'm taking Scott up on offering a clip on how I'm winning my week. And before that though, when I was younger, I used to think winning the week meant a promotion, a goal, another milestone. And even though those things still matter, because even today I still have those responsibilities, some of those responsibilities, I found that winning the week, Scott had me thinking about this, what it really means. And my channel goes a little bit more philosophical with the same kind of optimism. But this week, I found myself watching a pair of myna birds nesting in our avocado tree. And I couldn't stop watching. And I sat here on one of my favorite spots by the beach and thought about things that have passed, people that I no longer speak to, not because they're dead or because of indifference, but that life just happens. And I walked in the rain when I would have rather sunshine, and I even made a video about it. But what this week really reminded me about was to just slow down and notice more. And it sounds overly philosophical, but we really need to, because I often say that our limbic system is towards the back of our brain, but it's always front and center in everything we do, you know, fast-paced, threat, have to. And then our prefrontal cortex, which is what I like to call the drill sergeant of our brain system, has to say, slow down, take a knee, face out, pull security, drink some water, because it might not be what your limbic system says it is. But point being, we're doing that so often during our week, and we often need to just slow down. All right, so I wanted to share that. That's how I'm winning my week. Until our next live stream, you be good out there. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll talk again soon. I'll see you.
Well, thank you, Peter. We appreciate that input. And as always, any of you are welcome to send me a clip of how you're winning the week. Just pull out your phone, go to the camera app, click on video, and start recording. I'd love to hear from you. And there's ways to reach me in the channel description. So I'm gonna run inside and grab a few things from Publix here. And when I get back out, we'll have a little chat. We will continue our discussion on the topic of love. All right, another successful journey to Publix. I got some apples, some oranges, some sliced turkey, some half and half, some taco seasoning, and a couple gallons of Publix diet sweet tea. Nectar of the gods. Man, sometimes that stuff tastes so good it should be illegal. Last night I was drinking it, it tasted like brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tarts. I don't know why. Well, one aspect on this topic of love we've been talking about all week here that we haven't spoken about yet is the idea of brotherly love. And that's a tough one for me to get my arms around. Isn't Philadelphia the city of brotherly love? That's ironic. If you don't know why that's ironic, you've never been to Philadelphia. But brotherly love, this concept that compatriots, friends have a special bond. You know, I was never in the military. I'm actually the first generation in my family of males not to be in the military, to live in peacetime. There was no draft. For the first time, my family came over. We have an unbroken line of males with the last name Ald, going back to the 1650s in this country. And I don't know how far back it goes before they came over here from Scotland. But every single generation of men in my family, going back at least to the 1650s, served in the military, probably in some kind of conscription / draft situation. So I'm the first generation of my family not to have experienced the wartime idea of brothers in arms, brotherly love, the compatriots of the battlefield. I don't know what that's like. But I have friends, you know, amigos, compatriots, compadres, that I would say I have brotherly love for. The funny thing is, your actual brother or sister, you know, depending on how you grew up, your level of love for them may not be the perfect definition of brotherly love. You're going to have to let me know in the comments, when you hear the word brotherly love, do you think of it as a sibling love, or do you think that of that more like as a strong bond of friendship love? When I hear brotherly love, I think, like, why would Philadelphia be the city of brotherly love if it just means sibling love? That wouldn't make any sense. It's got to mean friendship, deep compatriots, the love that's, you know, forged over years and years of being close friends, compatriots, you know what I mean? Like I said, this is a tough one for me to get my arms around. If the definition of love that I'm working under here this entire time is that self-sacrificial, place other people's needs above your own, how does brotherly love fit into that definition? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm gonna need your help on this one. You guys let me know. Drop a note down in the comments and let me know how you think it applies. I'm all ears on this one. I'm gonna leave it there, and I'll just maybe have to think about it more. I'll talk to you a little bit more later. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. I'll reach out to you next time I reach up and hit record on this camera. Cool? Well, welcome back. Guess what? Today is Friday, everybody. We made it through the week. We have won through to the end of the week, folks. I knew we would. I had never had any doubt. And this has been a really good week. I've enjoyed just exploring this topic of love with you guys. I've talked about what is love, what isn't love, self-sacrificial love, brotherly love, romantic love, parental love. And it's been a great time. I've really enjoyed exploring this topic. There's some things I've learned, as always. Every time we talk about something like this, I always learn something. They say if you want to learn a subject, you should teach it. And that's the truth, man. That's how it goes. The last thing I want to bring up on this topic is, am I showing you any love? You, my beloved viewers, do I love you? Well, under all the under all the rules and categories and explanations we've come through all this week, I'm going to tentatively put a pin in it and say, yeah, I think so. I love you guys. In what way am I self-sacrificially putting yourselves above my own wishes, needs, desires? Well, I'll tell you, by taking you on these weekly journeys throughout the week with me, I have to do a lot more filming than I used to. Used to be, I'd film a video over the weekend or maybe Monday morning, edit it, put it out on Monday, and then I'd have to make one video sometime during the week to get it out on Friday. But that was basically 2 filming sessions. But what am I doing now? I'm filming something for you guys every single day. It's really not that big a sacrifice. I really enjoy talking to you guys like this. I really enjoy spending time together. But, you know, it is a bit more work. It's a bit longer video to edit and put together. Like I say, it's a lot more video recording sessions. Gotta remember to take the microphone, the camera, get it all set up, get it all turned on, hit record, you know, copy the videos over, do the edit, all that stuff. So it is more work, but I think it's worth it. Not only because I think we're ending up with a pretty enjoyable, long-form, week-long vlog type video, but also because I really enjoy spending time with you, and I think it's helping some people. I hope it's helping a lot of people. I hope a lot of people are getting something out of this. I want these videos to just reach tons and tons of people if they help, if it's going to help them. I think it is. I think if I was flailing about and failing, you would be telling me in the comments, this is stupid. This is a waste of time. This idiot's jabbering off to nobody. But nobody ever says that in the comments. And I never hear that. And by the way, Pam, don't you dare write that in the comments. I know you'd do that. Pam's got a very, you know, Pam from Pam's Stories for Humans, she's got a very similar Gen X, wacky, silly sense of humor. Very similar to my own. So I know she would do that as a joke. Anyways, I'm going to get some gas. I got a couple other errands to run. I'm out of birdseed. I got enough birdseed for like one more day, so I got to go pick up some more birdseed. But this has been a fun week. I've really enjoyed it with you guys. Don't forget, make sure you're subscribed. YouTube likes to unsubscribe people. I can't believe how many channels I find myself unsubscribed to now. Channels that I know I'm subscribed to, or I should be. Channels I've literally supported in the past that I love, and I find myself suddenly unsubscribed from them. So make sure you're subscribed. Turn on notifications if you like these videos. Be sure you show up for the weekly live stream on Wednesday nights. Record a little video of yourself telling me how you're winning the week. And don't forget to check out the Discord server. If you'd like to participate in the chill out at the cool kids table, my Discord server is the place to be. It's the most fun you can have on your computer, really. And I would love to see you in there, so follow the instructions in the video description, and I'll see you over there too. So this is it for the week. This is it for love. Next week we'll have a different topic, and I appreciate every single one of you for hanging in with me this long. I'm going to give you one guess as to where I'm pulling in to go get some birdseed, and you can leave your guess in the comment down below, but I think you all know where I am. All right, I will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.